Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another chapter of AOMM. We have here the nice looking screenshot of a very common threat to the series this year is the acquaintance gang. We're gonna see a lot of them. So anyway, our chapter takes place right after the last one, where Vidal goes to the scene of the explosion and notices a bunch of ne'er-do-wells over here banging up a jewelry store. Now, quick aside here, we are working on remastering these chapter pages to look like the more modern design stuff. So this will eventually be remade to have those set standards in place. So if it looks a little dead here, in due time, we'll have enough pages to replace these ones and have the feeling and effect we were going for originally all those years ago. Anyway, back to where we're at now. Vidal goes and challenges them, or at least tells them to stop, like she would typically do in her own world. As these people get one good look at her, they begin to laugh at her. Because they don't really see her as much of a threat. She is just a girl, at least from their point of view. So Vidal, knowing who she is, challenges them anyway. And we have a big beefy boy over here with a club, ready to go smack her, and thwam. Dude goes right through the glass display case, and Vidal does what every good woman does, and expects the man is expecting him to pay for it later.
So yes, and now this turns into a just normal brawl, just a normal 2v or 1v1, I suppose, at a time. And not a whole lot of real effort. I mean, obviously she's still getting used to being in this version of reality, but she literally realizing she has a little bit more strength than normal, actively just starts swinging them around and starts smacking them like rag dolls. Except one of them actually brought a useful weapon.
Use a gun. And if that don't work, use more gun.
So she's realizing that she is staring down a gun and she doesn't necessarily think she can probably take that on. And so the guy decides to start monologuing.
He starts monologuing.
He starts monologuing.
And then Mark uses bag. It's super effective. And fortunately providing just enough of a distraction to both disarm the weapon in question, as well as then proceed to give a very classical looking form dynamite kick. And with that being done, turns out the three members have now been taken care of this so-called acquaintance gang. And thus, with the bad guys now defeated, now they can go on to do helpful stuff, like saving people. Kind of heroic, isn't it? I do wish to add that the woman in the orange brownish dress was actually actively bleeding in the earlier panel, which means one of them probably got a good hit on her. So the fact that she's still somehow conscious just shows that, okay, these guys were definitely barely starting to rob it. But yeah, the place is on fire, they still got their stuff, and things just turned out okay.
Yeah,
A
they just
nice
walk
happy
away.
ever after.
They just walk away with
Hopefully
no
we'll
consequences. All right, so thank you guys for watching these chapters here. We're gonna go for again another generous 20 likes. If we hit 20 likes, we'll go ahead and release the next chapters. I think next time that if we end up having the goal reached, we'll go ahead and release a bunch of chapters with this art style so we can get closer to the modern art style, just so you guys can have something to look forward to. Also, I'll double this as a kind of an explanation of what we would like to do going further on in with the Patreon. If you guys are paying for the Patreon, the $5 or $10 tier, first, thank you. Second of all, the way it's going to end up working is that everybody who subscribes to the Patreon and stuff will have access to each page as they come out each week. That can either be 1 to maybe 3 or 4 pages during that week, not including bonus art that we try to get at least 2 out within the month. What we're going to end up having to do is that within I think a 7 or 8 chapter span, each time we get one chapter finished, we will release a chapter 7 chapters away out for free for everyone to take a look at. So that way we have the incentive. So that way the people who are supporting us get to see things immediately, and the people who want to see the story unravel free over time can wait a very long time to see it come out later. That way we can at least get some engagement for the people who really want to see things ahead of time, as opposed to people who, the general, would like to see things at a later time. Just want to reward people for being able to have access to it sooner rather than later. So with that being said, we will see you guys next time, hopefully with maybe more than 3 or 4 chapters. That way you guys can have a little bit more content instead of waiting for us to make these videos later, and then you end up seeing like 3 minutes of content. So we want to give you something more meaty, something more substantial. So until then, everybody, we'll see you guys next time, and take care. Bye-bye.